All right, good morning, traders, and welcome to the Bookmap Pro Trader webinar series. Today with JTrader, stocks trader. This is a regular session. This is the Pro Trader webinar series, but usually do this same webinar every Wednesday. Also on Thursday, Scott Pulsini. Both of them will be trading live. It is in demo paper trading mode. I'll go over that in just a minute. But this is what you get with part of the advanced education with Bookmap. All right, so going through some live analysis and live trading and reading the order flow. JTrader, if you don't know who he is, well, he's been trading for quite a while here. At a young age, started trading at 18 years old. But now he focuses on order flow scalping, mainly U.S. equities, small caps and large caps, and we'll get into the details here in a minute. He does offer mentoring services. You have his contact information here. I will be putting this into the chat so you can reach out to him. Let's go through some disclosures, and then we're going to get right into it here. General disclosure, all Bookmap limited materials, information, and presentations are for educational purposes only and should not be considered specific investment advice nor recommendations. Live trading is in simulation, demo, paper trading mode, and strictly for educational purposes. Live trading executed in simulation cannot accurately represent realistic trading performance. Risk disclosure. Trading futures, equities, and digital currencies involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. An investor could potentially lose all or more than the initial investment. Risk capital is money that can be lost without jeopardizing one's financial security nor lifestyle. Only risk capital should be used for trading, and only those with sufficient risk capital should consider trading. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. All right, so let's see if JTrader is in here yet or not. He usually comes in a bit later, yeah, waiting to hear from him. He'll probably be in about 5 or 10 minutes. In the meantime, we can go over a little bit of the S&P E-mini and what's happening there in the order flow, and it's really kind of all over the place. You can see the consolidation or range bound period here. 9 o'clock, we had just after 9 o'clock a boost up into this 4260 area here. And then it's really back and forth all over the place, and you can see that from one side of the range to the other, basically. Don't really see any sort of edge here. If anything, I would say looking to see if we can get back up to this kind of high liquidity here at 4270 right now. But like I said, it's really all over the place, but we do see a lot of buying starting to come in right now. And there was previously a lot of buying up at this 4260 and above. Yeah, we'd give the kind of overall kind of nod to the bulls here. Good morning, Joseph. Looks like you're in here.
Bruce. Good morning, Bookmap. Good morning, traders.
All right, excellent, excellent. So let me turn it over to you. We've already gone through the risk disclosure, so you can just jump right in. Let me find your screen and rebroadcast that.
Okay, I'm gonna share my screen.
Okay.
Okay, Bruce, can you confirm that you're seeing over here a Bookmap in the charts?
Hold on a minute. Yes.
Okay, so first of all, good morning, traders. I've been working all this morning. In the last 2 days, I took a break last week. It was a 6-figure February, so I could take 1 week off. From the starting of the week, seems incredible, but I shared every single trade. I still didn't have a loss. Took around 20 trades, and each trade I've been sharing the room. So this morning, I'm not trading big caps because I didn't have a set of big caps, low risk, but I've been trading, for example, this top over here on EOC. The reason why that I saw heat map over here, look how beautiful was this basically spoofing over here. And then they push it to that 440, which is my pre-market high, and then right away they dumped it. So I took this high over here. Unfortunately, not full size. The second one that I'm in is ASTS. Again, these trades I call live. explain the room, show my screen and everything. And I took this trade at 9:40, exactly over here. So I was looking at a few things with this one, and I'm gonna, I'll tell you what exactly I've seen. So STS and EOC are all small caps. I do a little bit of research before to see if they have dilution, to see the market cap, to see the float. In this case, I saw this big extension over here to the 950 when I started rejecting over here because I didn't see any kind of buyers. Then I started taking the short. Okay, even this not a full size. Basically, I traded 3 extension this morning and 3 have paid. HDSN, I only have a feeler on this one, so I'm trading this with a very low average, this 510 over here, and I'm not going to add until I have a stuff of 528. So let's see ASTS. Alan, yeah, maybe after. So push over here at 9. I'm still holding with 940 average. Again, you can even put, and I didn't today only because these days I just want to focus on the levels of heat map. You can even put the volume dots. You can filter the size. You can put a smart. You can put it by time, by volume. So many different ways. And I mean, this is simply amazing. And Bruce will tell even better. When you see this push over here, this is really an exhaustion because you don't see any kind of buyer up here today on the tape, and right away they slam. So when you see this big wick, you can put even NBBO above. If you go like here, so I suggest you to get that. If you put the NBBO and you see this push, you can see this wick. We have no dots over there. That's your extension and exhaustion of the move. That's the reason why I got in over here. And the reason that I'm still holding is because we have lower volume right now. So I can risk definitely break even. Okay, makes sense? Good. Now we can decide to keep the dots. We can decide not to keep the dots as you prefer. For today, I generally use them. For today, I'm not going to use them. And I'm not going to use also MBBO, but just for today. Then I use that. I use the MBBO and I use the sweeps indicator. I'm going to illustrate if we have other setups. Well, let's see, EOSE. Okay, main target over here, 369. So EOSE, I think it's time for a lot of traders over here to cover. Let's put this on Bookmap. So this is one of the main covers down here. And then we have this 348, 350. Exactly this level here. So we can look to cover that level. This level here. You see this main level of demand that you can see on the chart, right? All these dips, all this main level of support. And over here, we can see also on Bookmap. So count is going up. This is interesting today. Count is going up. We're gonna put count back up. And this is grinding, okay? So we don't have really a perfect exhaustion move. A little bit of recap on count of what is. So I hope you can see this. I'm gonna keep it like this 1 second. So we have a 800 million market cap. Yes, we have a 140 million float, 92% institutional ownership. So this is a really a largest small cap. The company has cash for 20 months. We have a negative net income, even if they have revenues. They have a high cash burning ratio. Something with 20 months of cash, there's not a lot of cash. Trust me. You can see over here the news, why this is up. And also over here, we see if we have every previous gappers, which we don't. Okay, so careful, we don't have previous gappers on a candle. Now, 2 ways to trade for me, waiting the dips. I'm looking dips into the 90 MA or the J lines. So I'm looking for dips or this area down here, so around 650, or this area over here around 580. Don't attack something that you still don't have a precise, I would say entry setup. So not even for me dips too long over here, because in this case I would need dips into these levels around 640, 645 with a heat map. Watching also ASTS. Grinding a little bit more over here, Cano. You can see over here 5 consecutive green bars. Also in Bookmap you can see it very clearly. Let it push. Let it push a little bit more. When I see a fast exhaustion to the 7, and then we can take a little bit over here, nibble the top if we go parabolic only. I'm not shorting grinding stocks. I still don't have a trade this morning on Cano. I didn't have a dip onto the J line, so I didn't long there. I had a few dips over here at the 90 MA. I could have long over here around 6 or 580, but I was very busy on other stocks. So let's continue to watch. Basically, Alan, because you want to know what you're trading, if it's a billion-dollar company, if they have dilution. So in this case, if it has dilution, you're going to look possibly for a level where they can dump. So if they have to exercise warrants, let's say at 450, you won't start shorting that at 4 because you want at least that 450, okay? So I'm taking a feeler over here again on ASTS. Basically, I'm reshorting. So let's go check ASTS. So that's the breakout, the pre-market high. Just taking a feeler. Feeler worked. So when I'm looking at these levels, I'm looking for this extension. You can see again, this bar exhausted. So it took something at the 960s over here. Now, basically holding, and I can use 960 as risk. You can see over here still grinding. We're gonna put above Cano. You can see trader in this case, ASTS this morning came to the J lines, pushed over here to this high around 945, dipped J lines again, pushed again over here. We shorted 960s, sorry. And now I'm looking, I'm not full size, trading less than 1/3 over here of size. I'm looking if we're gonna hold this support of the pre-market high. You can see this purple line, or if we're gonna dump below. I'm looking over here at the tape. I'm looking over here at Bookmap. I'm gonna see some seller jumping in 960, but for now we don't have that. There we are. It's trying to push more. you can see over here that it's still going. Let's wait that this goes parabolic to short it. Again, I tend to trade a lot of big caps lately, mostly big caps. But right now, big caps are ranging at this moment. Looking at Tesla this morning, it just up a few bucks, waiting for a strong direction. Another stuff over here. So you can see the push into this 975 area, then right away rejection. So stuffed again. Possible first breakdown on Cano. Want to see if we're going to have more heat map jumping in over here. So we're going to look to long or this level, or we're going to look for a trend line break and rejection to short. Same over here on ASTS. We're going to look to long or this level, or we're going to look for a parabolic move or a big stuff move and look into short. Over here we have yes, still below that resistance. VIX is down this morning, just small down in the last hour, so not much. CL over here is near the near support 116. Let's pass Tesla. That is still below the pre-market high. I'm waiting over here, not really trading it. Nvidia above that pre-market high, following yes, so not really trending for now. Apple inside the pre-market range, no trade for me. Facebook trying to hold the pre-market high. Look, this wedge traders, they're gonna look for a direction over here. Look this this level on ASTS. So break them to the downside.
Yeah.
So Ken right now, I would like to see a rejection of 660, sorry, 670. So let's see if we can get this area because we had a first trend line break. So let's see if we're going to have sellers over here. If no sellers, no trade for me. Long over here on ASTS, around 56. Fake breakdown to the downside. I love this exhaustion to the downside. Possible push to 70 plus. Risking now break even. Fast pace over here. So risking that 951. Need a little bit more liquidity. Needs to hold the 960. Want to see a little bit more buying power, 960 over here. And why I'm longer right now, 90 MA, fake breakdown. So that's a fake wash and was bought up. So let's see. Out, break even came, break even out. So basically over here, they made a fake breakdown to the downside. So this is a bear trap, fake breakout over here to the upside. Now, still have to look. We're going to have another good heat map below that can support long. And now maybe it's pushing. try to take the cuts. That's the, I would say, the key to bigger wins. Okay, that's really the key. So 968 ASTS, I'm not in, waiting. So the next target is at 10. Now it's pushing strong. I missed this long, but fine. $9.90, pushing more. So you can see what happened again over here. So they went to this high liquidity and then rejected. Okay. The best is to see the push exactly into the level, or a soak, or a fake breakout right away back down. So Cano having the rejection over here. But I need to see a big heat map above, just above 660. Otherwise, I won't take this short over here. It's always riskier to trade short and uptrend. So I always say buy the dips, which is better, and ideally the pullback over here to the J lines. I suggest every single morning to make your plan. Start looking at few stocks or futures or coins or options, whatever you're trading. And then follow only those, okay? I'm looking at 10, 12 things at the same time. But I suggest you really to trade few things, and the more you become profitable, the more you become expert, the more I would say products you will trade. Okay, so start small, make a plan, and then evolve from there. That's the reason we didn't take it. Okay. Yeah.
Joseph, you mentioned that cutting the trade is very, very important for you. I know we talked about it last time, that that was something very important for you to learn and start to implement. I'm just kind of wondering how long it took you to start to do that, and kind of get was it a couple of weeks, was it a couple of months, or was it a couple of years, like to really start to get really good at cutting your losses quickly, or cutting trades quickly?
Okay. So I would say, Bruce, it really depends, first of all, from from each person. I always say we can read the same book, the same manual. Maybe you learn it like in 2 days. I maybe take like 2 months or 2 years. So that's really, something I would say that it's more like individually. The second thing is, in order to become good, you have to experiment. So to push to those limits and experiment what is best for you. And how, for example, in this case, we're talking about cutting a position, cutting losing position, how that can benefit your trading. For example, you don't want to cut something. Let's say I'm gonna, let's say like before over here, I long over here because I recognize this pattern over here of a fake breakdown. And then it pushed up, it was up like 10 cents, and then it came down. And at that moment, my risk management is it's already went to this pre-market high, to this previous high with a heat map. Okay, I have to get out because I've seen over and over, so by testing, by experience, that if we have even another fake out, this can go all the way down. And I don't want to risk any kind of cents, even 1 cent in this market. Of course, when I enter, I have my stop loss. But when the trade works in my direction, I then move my stop to break even. And for me, it's necessary to take cuts. Cuts can be plus 2 cents, minus 2 cents. I consider those scratches. And I was talking with other, I would say, big traders. This trader that I was talking to is a net funds manager, but he trades also for, day trading like this. And I was telling that for him as well, cutting, so having scratches is one of the most important things. That's when he started, was the way that he started then eventually to make money from. Because if you don't cut, what will happen? You will end up losing hours in a position. And that maybe is not following your strategy. And then when you have instead real losses from your strategy, where you would need really to take a stop loss, you will have a negative ratios. So you have basically traders to use the cuts. It's the most important thing in trading right now, especially in an environment, if we look at ES, if we look at Tesla, that is not really bullish. I mean, we are more in a scenario where we're basically in the last 2 months sideways. This is the main support and this is the main resistance. So we have supply and demand zone over here. And we can go back over here 2 months and we're still the same exact price. So when we have not a bullish market, you have to lower your risk reward ratio in a sense that you won't get big trends or maybe in few situations. Okay. So you don't have to maybe to look for those 4 or 5 hours that you were looking before in a bullish market, like, mid 2021, like this period over here, or even before, like in June, okay, or in July. No, you're looking right now to have a higher win rate, but of course your higher win rate wouldn't have the same ARV results. So what do you have to do? In order not to take any kind of big losses, you have to take those scratches. Maybe you'll lose a little bit more commissions, but trust me, it will pay off if your strategy is solid. And this is what I teach every single day. So really from the start of the year, I'm having 80% plus win rate. The last, I would say, the last few days was very good because I took scratches, generally plus 2, plus 5 cents, plus 20 cents. So I didn't take like any kind of big losses. But then the P&L pays off. When you start having actually there were more. I know I count only 5. I said before I did like 10, 15 each day. But here I'm having no losses these 2 last days. Okay, and today again, no loss. I had 1 scratch. Basically, I lost 0 cents, something like that. So how you can do this? Only when you're super, we say, precise with your strategy. And my strategy all morning, and I have more than 200 guys over here that were following me. We took all these trades, for example, HOAC, and they were all profitable because each trade I pinpointed with Bookmap exactly those levels. So this was a beautiful fader. And again, I don't take only shorts, I take only longs, right? But I have to have the setup for the longs. The same small caps or big caps or futures or coins. That's what we do. Now, answering also to Bruce, I would say that a trader has first to form himself and find out where he can be more profitable with. And this means not only the entry, because the entry is so simple. When you enter a trade, it's very simple. You can take a bounce, you can take a dip, you can take a rejection, you can take a pop, you can take an extension, a pullback, whatever. That's simple. The most important thing is to learn instead how to maximize your wins and cutting your losses. So knowing how to scratch and cut your trades. Okay, I hope traders that I answer the Bruce question over here, and that it was, with my half English, half Italian over here.
No, just so important. I brought it up I brought it up over the years with you, but like we covered it in a lot more detail last week in the advanced webinar, and then this week, or today, I'm asking you as well, just for more details. For example, like in your management, I know you take some partial profits. Will you take some partial profits and then move your stop not to the actual break even, or the overall break even, basically? So you've taken some profits, and if you get stopped out on the rest, it will be for zero. But
Exactly. That's a way that I like to do it, because once I take my trade, I don't want to really risk no more. I'm taking the trade, and if I take a first partial, I'm getting out, the first good win. Why I would need to, take more risk after, like giving back profits? No, let's not do that. Let's maybe cut it, and then you can always re-enter the trade.
okay, so you will then, like, you'll take partial profit, then move your stop to break even. So if you get stopped out on the remainder, you still have a profit, or do you?
Exactly,
Okay,
exactly,
okay, okay.
exactly. That's the way I prefer to do it. Like for example, Bruce, this is a trader over here in the room with Bookmap as well, and short, cut in the money, then out because it was going to break even, then reshort it. So you can always reshort. You don't need to enter over here, take some partial over here, put the stop loss, because often this market will give you reversals. So if you're gonna do that, you're gonna risk your profits. So better to exit, and then you can reshort and take two good trades. Of course, you can do this if you're not under PDT rule. So we're talking about trading at a certain level.
Yeah, no, I really like it. I mean, I especially think that as you discussed last week, how this way of trading actually really helps you define your strategy, because instead of like studying a strategy and then kind of trading, it's like, well, taking losses quickly will make you study your strategy
Exactly.
really
Exactly.
well.
So let's look at traders at Tesla over here. So Tesla grinding, and I have Bookmap over here on Tesla over here. Okay. So last week, for who came now, and it's hard to explain everything in one session. So last week, I tell you what we did, and I'm going to show you now an example that you can start, not to trade, because I want first you test the stuff. But I will tell you an example of what I'm doing. Last week was here with Mabir. I think we took like maybe 50 trades on big caps, something like that. And we had like 90% win rate. And this is an example of what we do. So you see the price that is going up, all right? So this is Tesla. You see this, traders? Price is going up. And you see this dip over here around 10.15, 10.16, which is this dip. This dip over here is exactly into my J lines, this and this. And when I start seeing the dip over here being bought plus my J lines confirmation, see how Bruce, they work together. I start nibbling over here, nibble long, maybe like take 1/5, 1/6 of your position. Then you see over here even a confirmation dips, and we have two main buyers. I mean, I can load over here, and then you can take the big move. I mean, a move like this, even if you take like 6, 7 points, 10 points, whatever, but even if you take like 4 or 5 points, you made your day. Okay, then of course, if your hold goes up, and it would, but this is that one of the setup that I trade. And when I see this, even here, this is my long already at 8.51 and 20. That's my long exactly over here. Why? Because I have my confirmation over here. That level is my confirmation. So I have my setup and strategy that is working. So I can take this trade over here, and then I'm looking for that previous high, 853 and 50. If we go there, I cut a half. If it doesn't go here and I'm up 1 hour, I'm going to stop break even. If instead it goes down right now, we'll stop over here at 51. Now is the point where I'm looking to sell on the S partial, 853 and 50. Of course, I didn't trade this now, but this is exactly my process. You can see over here, they're building a little bit of resistance. So the wall of sellers above. What makes you think? Maybe we have not only one buyer, but we have also some sellers. So careful. This tells me, okay, if we get out faked over here, get out, break even. Don't risk more than that 851 and 50, 851 and 80, this area over here. I'm never long in the pops. I'm long in the dips. This is what you have to do, okay? This is one way that I trade big caps, and I really like to do this over and over and over. This, we showed before, this main dip over here. This is beautiful. This is such a beautiful thing. This dip over here. And of course, I use my J-lines and my strategy, not Bookmap together, because otherwise you will get confused which side I trade. No, you trade a side that I trade a side that my system is telling me. Okay. So the other day we had some trade like Tesla right now here, like was 942. So you see exactly when we break this J line over here at 943. This is 943 exactly over here. Here the price goes up, and then we start breaking this heat map to the downside. This for me is a good level to short. Now, I'm making this example, but I would never short in a trading range like this. But I'm showing you, if I see this and the trend is downtrending, and I see something like that, this is exactly how I traded Tesla today. And I took 6 points to the open. That's it. I think I tossed maybe Tesla another time during the day, and that's it. This is another trade that I would take. So I'm shorting the tops. When I see the pop over here, 840, 839, which is 952, this pop over here, I'm taking these pops over here. I'm not shorting down on the breakdown. If you're short on the break in this market, you can tell goodbye to your trading. You will lose all your account. I can't guarantee it, and put the signature right now. So you have to trade a strategy. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah, no, this is great, Joseph. Yeah, I especially like this is new from maybe a couple weeks or a week ago. You're just looking at candlesticks and heat map. Very, very simple without the dots.
Yeah, because I want to show traders, Bruce, basically, the easy setups. You see this A51. The most important levels are the orange, the red ones. A51 over here. And this is exactly at 1038, and we're talking about Tesla. 1038 over here is exactly this dip that I'm seeing right now, okay? So I want to, sorry, this level here, 1037. I want a long over here, exactly where we said before. And then I can long again on this dip over here because we had a bounce. And it's again one of my levels that I trace over here. So I'm longing and recycling, okay? This is what I've been doing the whole time to work like this. And why? Because this market is not a market that, you buy the open, hold, like you were doing like in June 2020, 2021, 19, whatever. No, this market, you long, exit, short exit, long exit, short exit. So if you stay married to a position, bye-bye.
Yeah, it's fantastic, Joseph. I really like it. Very, very simple, but look at the value it's giving you there.
Yeah. Yeah. It takes a little bit of time, traders, to get, to that discipline. Like over here, I see this A56. I'm not shorting Tesla. Okay. We're not trading over here MBRX like 4 years ago. MBRX is a small cap. I think was like 5 million float, something like that. I think now it's an OTC or below $1. I don't remember even. Or others, okay. Voxel, whatever. We're trading a $1 billion cap over here, a big market cap. So you cannot fight it front side. Or you wait for huge extensions and you're going to see a big soak, for example, on the ask. Or you look to take dips, as I told you right now. This is the way that I trade big caps. Big caps, 90% of how I trade is trend following. Okay. As my friend over here is saying right now, Eric, no need to be a hero. Okay. No need to be a hero. Trade the easy stuff. So break of this 856, Tesla's a little bit going over here. Now what I would do, if we have a pullback, I'm telling you right now, 854, so this level over here and this level over here, we can find some big liquidity. So some support like we saw over here. Not really looking for these yellowish or bluish over here. I'm looking for some decent support. Then I can trade that. So double top in 956, 856 and 50. Over here we have also Cano. I want to see also Can over here if you're going to have a dip too long. For now, they're selling good on Cano. I'm not looking for dips. And look, traders, that manipulation above, right? Those sellers, they are simply driving down the price on Cano from the 675, 660, 650. They're driving this down. So I think we can stay with these two stocks.
Yeah, Joseph, you might maybe want to mention a little bit about the changing environment, when you started to note that, and how, well, you mentioned how you've changed your trading.
Okay. There are a lot of variables in the market. Imagine that you have a big sheet, and we'll do like this. Let me see if I can draw. Second. You know, I like to draw lately, Bruce, so trying to see if I can do that.
I know you have a lot of artistic blood in your veins.
Shut up. So, okay, yes, I can draw. So let's do one thing over here. Just 2 seconds. So imagine that this is the market. And we have the influence over here of, for example, the tech stocks, so multiverse coming. We have over here the influence, for example, of the crypto, NFTs. And trust me, this influenced the market because a lot of small cap traders went to trade NFTs and they took out some liquidity from the small caps in the last months. Then over here you have, for example, the Fed. Then over here you have, for example, the war. Then over here you have crude oil. Then all this moves also the VIX. So you have a lot of parameters. Okay. Now the market 2020, 2021 was like this. The market instead 2022 is this. And this is the high starting of the year. This is ES. This is NQ. This is Tesla. This is Apple. This is Nvidia. This is not Facebook. Facebook is like this. And then you have this. And then you have basically Bitcoin from that 68 over here, where I said not to buy, to short, for example, who can take futures. And I called that 40. And now we have the bounce over here. And we are again at around 44. This is the J-lines that I'm looking at. Still not a long. Still didn't say too long over here. I'm not really longing. And then over here we have what? We have CL. 23rd of February. Because it's the same thing. 2008 I was trading CL. And I shorted 147, 145. And I took a big, huge one. Basically, I paid almost an apartment debt. And this time, on the 23rd of February, in the room, on Twitter, everything, I said, start buying crude oil because it will go up. It's inevitable. Every time that you have wars, there's a problem in logistics. So it's not really that CL, so crude oil, NYMEX, okay, is going up because you have a war. No, it's going up because of the problem of logistics, transportation, and everything. And also it's going up because of the bans now that the US, which instead have a little bit of exposure from Russia, they won't get like any kind of big disaster from the Russia thing. But Europe, which depends, and even Italy I think depends like around 40% from Russia. So they're not receiving anymore like gas and everything from them. So the price is of course going up. We were in 95, the days that where I called it, and that went 130. My target was 132, and the next one is going to be 148, 2008 level. So when we have this, when we have CL pushing up, what happens? You have Indo, you have IMPP, you have USA. All these are small market cap companies that if CL moves 5%, they can move 100% because they have a low float, high liquidity, high volatility, small float, boom. They spike in the went from 20 to 100 or something like that. So is that a good investment for the future for your kids? No, it's a hit and run position. Okay, so this is the market that we're having right now. Okay, let's go back over here and let's see if we can take a position. Personally, I'm going to take a position on Cano. Can over here back to the support, but I don't see those big huge heat maps that I saw over here in the morning. You see this one? Oh my god, you see something like this, call your mother, you won't be on time for the food past at lunch, you're gonna trade long something like this over here. This is like 945, 955, these dips over here. You see this dip? Beautiful, amazing. USA, IMPP, 9, Clove, all these small caps did the same thing. I like the big caps, but I mean, if you want a 100% return in one day, trade also the small caps. And the same pattern is for both.
Joseph,
So
what does your time frame there on the candlestick you're using on Bookmap?
1 minute,
Okay,
but I would say try also the 5 minutes, which is very, very good.
okay. David was asking, so I just wanted to
Oh,
get
okay. Okay,
get
sorry, I didn't look at
no problem.
the room, buddy. So not a big heat map over here where I could long. Actually, yeah, we had a dip, 850, this dip over here. So we missed that. So let's see, EOIC, I'm still in. Okay, my last target traders, for who's over here on Bookmap that was with us before. I'm looking for that 350, 340. Okay, so hold the last piece of EOIC. And why I like, I'm gonna do like this. Why I like traders, for example, let's put over here NVIDIA. And I'm gonna show you why I like the candles. The dots are good, they have their utility. Actually, the best thing would be to have both, okay? Have both things. Why I liked it. So it really works so good with the J lines. And you have to look for a trend. Okay, so you have to look for a trend. You cannot simply trade laterality. So the trend over here is up. You can see I'm gonna do a little bit. So okay, the trend is up. You can see we're going up over here. We're breaking. Now you see a first dip. This dip doesn't really touch my heat map, and I didn't touch over here the 90 MA, which I use. I didn't touch over here the J line, so I'm not looking to trade this. This for me is longing into pops, not longing into dips. Okay, I'm longing here. That's where I want to long, because this is a dip. If you look at the chart, you will see the dip over here. So, or J-lines or 90 MA, I want to long these levels over here. And I'm not really longing these levels over here where you see, for example, a very small liquidity. I want to long here and not over here, not on the breakout. I'm longing over here. And trust me, I made a video over here for mentoring explaining exactly the same thing, and I'm sharing with you so that you can learn this stuff. Then you can see over here this brutal sell off that we got. And this doesn't mean, oh, you see a heat map, sell everything. Sell everything. No, but if you see a rejection, start sell partial. And then you see somebody that is pushing it down, means you have more, I would say, selling pressure, while you don't have any more heat maps below until over here. So unless a big heat map that we're gonna form at this level, okay, so if it goes up the price and we dip, I'm gonna buy over here. Or if it goes down, and this is my J-Lens or 90 MA, and I have this, I'm buying over here. I'm not buying over here, okay? This is very, very important. So in my mind, and this is how you have to train, retrading 2 million times, passing, I would say, 150,000 hours on your charts. My mind is like this. When I see a chart, I already know what to expect in order for me to trade it, or in order for me to trade it. Your mind, in a glitch of a second, has to know this. And how it comes? With experience, with time, having a mentor, doing these things over and over and over. Now we have a dip over here. So let's look at Tesla. So you can see that we're basically dipping over here in the support. It's looking for a bounce over here. 227 and 30. I'm not longing yet. So starting to be green. So I want to see over here another formation of heat map coming. Making a first higher low. But you can see I don't see any kind of support. I don't see any kind of support. Like, for example, we had over here, right? It went away. They cleared it. So it's true, it's making a first higher low, but it's not 100% low risk trade. So I'm avoiding it. If I miss it, it's okay. You will miss so many trades. You don't have to take every single trade out there. Let's see Tesla over here. Actually, sorry, NVIDIA. Let's dip. Now, probably this will go down. Why? I see sellers over here on the tape. No support holding. No reason for me to get in long on this, okay? So when I say the tape, means the time's in sale, so nothing really, really crazy. Yeah, let's see also candles coming down over here. Apple. Apple, remember, is below that previous day range, so huge amount of resistance, 163. I wouldn't long over here, Apple. Let's start looking more instead at NVIDIA. So trader, you know what I'm looking for, right? Okay, it's flashing over here. See a buyer, it's flashing right now, a little bit late. You don't want to see late prints over here. No trade. No trade yet. Small liquidity. No trade on NVIDIA. Let it come down. Let it come down. That's a curling. They're looking for a breakout over here. So let's see if they're going to clear out 856. Remember, I don't long breakouts. Why? You would have long this break over here, got stopped. 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 Or if you long breakouts, you have to have so big stop loss that is incredible. And it's really not worth the risk reward scenario. So let's make it this breakout and then we buy dips. All right. So again, where we buy dips, Jay? We buy dips when we have heat maps coming, or like we were seeing before over here, heat maps coming and so on. Okay. Now I'm not going back. But I'm not definitely buying breakout. Let's see over here. So we have this level of resistance at 856 and 40. So they're trying to break it, you see. They're actually breaking out. Apple here is breaking out. Rejection. So use the resistance level as a guide. Okay. You can see over here what they're doing right now. They're like selling it. And reason why I don't like to buy breakouts is this. Right away, they break, boom, they form another resistance, bigger selling pressure over here. You can put your times and sales on Bookmap over here on the side and start looking for the fills. Now, the fills means executions. So breaking at 857, too far for me to buy this. Let's wait dips. I'm gonna also put above candle, which is going almost to the J lines. So J lines over here exactly at the 627. Okay, we have a little bit of support around 15K on heat map. I'm gonna remove a little bit of these. I'm gonna filter them. We're gonna put over here 5K. Let's see if it's gonna be better. Yes, definitely. Okay, you see how it's much better right now. They clear over here the support. You can see simply cancel. Try to hold this resistance at 5650. In order for me to buy Tesla, when I dip into a big heat map, in order for me to buy Cano, when I see a big heat map over here, and then buying the dip. When I buy the dip, I risk very small. That's where we say you have the edge. I'm risking like, let's say 1, and generally I go for 3 or 4. So even with a 50% win rate, you're gonna be very profitable. And that's the fake breakout again on Tesla. You see why not to buy breakouts? They're gonna smash. So they went to get this versus A58. resistance still there. So they breached it like for 12 cents, trap a little bit more longs, and then fake breakout.
Joseph, can you very quickly show, if you just right click in the heat map there somewhere and show the heat map settings?
Yes, 1 second. Okay. So this is how I use it, traders. Bruce, personally, how do you use it?
Yeah, I mean, I usually use the go in the bottom right. I hit restore, but I can see, you've got the lower cutoff all the way up, and then the upper cutoff up pretty high as well. So you're just filtering. You're filtering for looking for only those very significant areas of high liquidity, and this is what works for you.
Exactly.
You can also put in the exact number of shares as well.
Yeah.
It doesn't
Yeah.
really matter.
Yeah.
I know you use that feature a lot, but the slider works as well. It's just by preference.
Yes. Personally, I suggest traders over here to, just like try what works for you. I find myself that if I have it like this, I need to see things very clear because I'm not looking at one stock at a time. I'm looking like 10, 12 maybe. And I need right away to, I would say, understand what the stock is doing. I mean, I put this right away, understand we are an uptrend, and then I'm looking for dips. That's easy, right? That's easy. The same thing over here. I'm looking for the uptrend. I'm looking for these dips. All right, let's see over here if we can have an entry. So we have a dip, exactly that level. That's the level over here. That's a good long. Okay, so I nibble over here something at the 60s at 854 and 60s because I see a heat map. I see my level over here. I see my support. So risking very small, risking like 50, 60 cents to have at least 3R. I'm already with a pretty good P&L for the day, so I can risk this. So I got in over here in the dip. Now I'm going to look for A56, something like that, to sell on the ask. If I see something like really scares me on the tape, like the 50 level, we had a fill of 50 level over here. If it doesn't reclaim, I'm going to cut it fast. See the second bar as a seller, I don't like that. So right now I'm minus 15 cents, minus 5 cents. Reclaim the 50s. Let's give a little bit of work. Let it make it work over here. We need the 50 support, 53, 58, 60. It's getting thinner. Okay, they moved the support. You see over here, now the heat map is growing. So now I'm looking for that bounce over here. At least I want to see the 856. So I'm risking 50 cents to make like $1.50. I'm up $1.10. I'm gonna sell on the ask. Okay, now I can sell break even. So I'm risking 854 and 50. Think we will go, yep, 856. So I didn't get a fill 856, but that's exactly the process. Sometimes this will go like maybe $1, sometimes it will go $50. There we are, 856, 856 and 20, 856 and 40. Took the first partial right here. Now what I do, I put my stop 855. I'm getting a little bit of reason to work, okay?
Yeah, beautiful, Joseph. Super simple and effective. I just want to note, like, it's not only the heat map, it is the reaction to that heat map that is
Exactly.
the key.
Exactly. And then you can simply hold your trade and push it.
That, I mean, it's a hard thing to get across in the Bookmap education about that point. It's just because the event or the heat map shows that there's a lot of demand on the bid at that area, tremendous demand. It is the context of the reaction to that demand that we want to understand. So, I mean, this is just a
Exactly.
beautiful trade.
Now I'm already up $3 almost. 858. I have another sell. 857 over here. Want a little bit more. Can squeeze above 858. I'm not taking any size over here. I mean, generally when I'm in Bookmap, I like to do or low size or simulated to relax a little bit. But this is for educational purpose. If you want to really like make the big wins, first traders, you have to study or say all Bookmap and also my trading strategy. Otherwise, like this, following two alerts doesn't make any sense. That's important to say. So there's a process behind. Now, when you see, before we were talking about when to cut, okay? So you long, let's say here or here. When to cut. You have to have a target. This is for me the first target. I just trimmed over here small, exactly here. Trim small. Now what I'm doing, I'm risking nothing. So I'm basically can risk like in the money, 855. There are like 1,700 shares. And each time, let's say the stock, maybe not now, but each stock this go up, I'm going to risk the relative high, relative high, relative high. So I'm basically raising my trailing, okay? Now careful over here for two things. Possible breakdown, that's we are, exactly. So when I saw over here this red bar, I was looking for this breakdown possible coming over here. So always know to get out if it doesn't work. Okay. Now let's see if we're gonna have something else. ASTS on watch traders. Oh, this is how J lines work. So I've seen some traders that couldn't find a way to trade. That heat map over there is this one. Bruce, look, this is sick. Look, buddy. 9, big heat map over here. 9, exactly to the J lines. I mean, this is really like easy money. Easy, easy, easy money. This is the easy money.
Great stuff, Joseph.
This is 8 STS long dips J line. Of course, I didn't take this. I cannot trade every single thing out there, but that's really the setup where it tells me to long. Okay, so from tomorrow you can start looking at these things. The other thing is Tesla. What a great risk management. It's exactly what we are talking about. If you marry a position right now, that's the reason why I don't hold and I take cuts. Was in the money, made money, not much. Next time will, but this is basically the reason why I cut it. Okay, so we took the long, we got out partial, we got out more over here, and now it's flushing. Okay. So this is so funny because Mary is in the room with us, Bruce. She has Bookmap, and she was basically shorting when I sold all the position. She's doing amazing things, amazing things. Very, very good trader. So congratulations. So Jalen's over here. Let me try if we're gonna have a dip. Oh, 850, whole big round number. You want to see a soak, just put your dots over here. Put your dots. I don't like these kind of dots. So I'm gonna do like this, not bad time. I'm gonna put smart. So when I see like over here, it's like, the red blood cells over here is coagulation, okay? That's basically my translation absorption. That soak up here was sick at 858 on Tesla. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. J-Lines Julian is, I can tell you in this way, it's a 7289 EMA, but it's based on expansion numbers of Fibonacci that I was trading between 2003 2005. Okay, cannot tell you really the month because I don't remember. And being that our Fibonacci numbers, they reoccur over time, and you can see I have more than one J-Lines over here, so they are different. This is the main one. Then I have this and this. They work for different patterns, for different, I would say, setups, and they work extremely, extremely good. Okay, let's look also the 5-minute chart over here. Tesla right now dipping. This was also a nice support to start over here, 850 and 50. You take a feeler, you put the stop at 850, so you risk like 50 cents, 67 the maximum. And then you can look for a break of 853 and look for 855 target. Let's go back ASTS. So yes, coming down, VIX is pushing, CL is bouncing. So the reason why Indo, if you put over here also HUSA are bouncing, it's for that. Okay, it's for that. Let's go back on Tesla. So they broke the support 850, main support over here 848. So waiting, no other trades. Getting towards mid-morning. Almost to the target over here, traders 340 looking for EOSE. ISTS, I'm waiting. It's lateral. I'm gonna do like this. Yeah, this is simple lateral over here right now. No reason for me to trade it. Nvidia waiting. Hudson over here. They had two news this morning. Waiting. When I see a possible push 530 where Jalen's curl up for long. Tesla we're just watching right now. It's fading, so wait. SBFM was the biggest gapper this morning. Now it's bouncing into big use liquidity level. That is a short. I mean, that's really a crazy, crazy short. Let's modify over here the candlestick. So when you see this price action over here, what are you gonna do? You're gonna simply start shorting near this level over here. Okay. That's a huge amount of selling pressure. It's a wall of sellers. Okay. Let's see, Arab. Nothing for now. I was waiting for more extension this morning. And also at Pitten. Okay, nothing. Okay. ISTS holding the J lines. This can give us some very good upside in the afternoon. ISTS. No heat map below, Bruce. You see over here, no heat map below the ones that I'm looking for, okay? And therefore, for me, not a long trade over here. If I had heat map, this level was perfect. Basically like the level we had before. So at 9, you see the dip over here at 905, which is this one. This was absolutely incredible. Let's see also if 935 we had one. Oh, yes. Well, actually, not really as I wanted. Want a little bit more liquidity. Maybe this is a good starter. At 946 over here. Or this one over here at 1003. You see the dip over here at 1003, 1004. Let's clean a little bit our heat map. So this is my process over here. We're gonna put 4999 to see how it looks. Maybe a little bit too much for this liquidity. I'm gonna put 2499. Yeah, I believe this is better. Okay. So clear out over here 950. Remember before traders we had a lot of resistance 980 and 10. This is the resistance 960. Then we have over here 980 and 10. So let's look at ASTS, sorry. We could push right now to 10. Let's watch. All right, traders, any questions?
Let's take a look here. I think I've answered most of them. Yeah, I just want to reiterate. I mean, first off, like I just love the simplicity. Again, I mention that all the time to you, but just very, very simple, straightforward. You have your higher time frame, and your J lines, your retracements. This is something you've studied over the years, and then you get this additional edge via the order flow. And putting these two pieces together, like if you don't see that heat map set up, for example, you know that, okay, well, yeah, sure, I'm still looking for it to go up. It hit my J lines, whatever, but it might go sideways for a bit. It might not. Maybe it will go up, maybe it won't go up. But when you see the heat map and you see that reaction to it, you have something much more solid, and you're looking for that follow through.
Basically, buddy, as I think trading made more simple like that. And it gives a lot of conviction. I mean, I mentor a lot of traders, beginners or even advanced. They want to become professional. And 90% of them are using Bookmap, and it's really like a game changer. This doesn't mean every single time you see a heat map, guys, you're gonna trade it. You need a strategy, okay? Could be a lot of strategies. Could be, I trade with patterns. So I have like 10, 12 patterns that form my day trading strategy. And I trade them systematically every single time. Then from time to time, we were talking about this, me and Bruce, I back test the market. I look everything that happened. If that pattern works right now, or maybe will work in another 6 months, and from now to 6 months, I'm not going to use it. And because the market is cyclical. For example, you cannot trade in a bearish market right now, which is starting to be bearish, or at least a sideways. We cannot trade the same setups that we were trading when the market was bullish. What do I refer to the market to? Yes, SPY and Q, that's the leading guy, okay? So the same setup that I used to have, for example, on the over, that I was having a crazy high win rate. Now I'm not even taking one trade in the last 2 months on it, because simply doesn't happen. That happens in a bullish market. So recognize the cycle. Recognize also that you have to trade differently with the different cycles of the year, okay? Cycles, scenarios, waves, whatever you want to call it. But that's very important. We have the consolidation, so accumulation. We have the markup, markdown, and also we have the distribution. So there are 4, or you can just put accumulation, distribution, and sidelines. 3. Okay, choose one of the 2, but basically the same thing.
Yeah, excellent stuff. Thank you very much, Joseph. So anyway, for those attending, this is what Joseph does every Wednesday, basically. So come on Wednesdays. Tomorrow we have Scott Bolsini. On Thursdays, he's a futures trader and he trades live. So this is just something we offer, so you can get some insight to traders like Joseph, how he is going through his trades, what he's looking for exactly, and learn how these specific traders are using order flow. And Joseph, I've pasted in the room here your contact information if someone wants to reach out with your mentoring services, etc.
Thank you, but the traders, please write to Bruce. He's available 24/7, so always write to him first, okay?
I can't tell you how much I appreciate that, Joseph.
All right, traders. So I think we had a very good session. Again, Bruce, almost awesome over here. See you again next week, actually. Thank you, Bruce, again. Thank you, Bookmap, and thank you, everybody, for following us today. If you have questions, reach out, me or Bruce or Bookmap support. Thank you very much, traders. See you next time. Thank you.
Thanks, Joseph. Bye-bye.